Drew's on the road again, heading 300 miles south to an antique store where he's hoping to find some forgotten misfits.
Okay, T, we're off to Arundel. It's very like Conway.
It is a bit.
It's got a great big castle, got walls, got all sorts of stuff. It's very like Conway. We're off to see a guy called Roland, who runs a company called French Loft. And he does stuff that I don't really do. He does predominantly stripped back French furniture. But you never know. It's always worth going to have a look. You know me, I can't actually drive past an antique shop, so...
No.
French Loft is run by Roland Leach. After working in advertising and running his own Michelin-starred restaurants, he discovered he had an eye for antiques and decided to try it as a career. In 2011, he found the perfect place to set up shop.
Well, the French Loft I started about sort of 5 years ago. I love antiques. I love French antiques, you know. Basically, I buy what I love. I love... If I love something, I buy it. It's not always the wisest thing to do, because sometimes things stay around for a while, but I mean, eventually everything sells. That's the way this game goes. It takes time, but sometimes, you know, it all goes eventually.
How you doing? Drew.
Nice to meet you, Drew.
Hi, T.
Hi, T.
How you doing?
Good to meet you too. Yeah.
What a spectacular looking shop you've got here.
Thank you.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
It's an old brewery. I mean, there's 2 or 3 buildings here that are all.
I sensed that we'd like it.
It's quite sad. It's quite sad when they're in an old brewery, but at least this one's like this.
Still smell the hops, because this was in fact the hop storage in this particular building. You know.
Oh, it's fab. French Loft is, well, it's very pretty, and it does look like a French loft, doesn't it? It's full of French country furniture, some upholstery, little bit of English stuff interspersed as well. But I particularly like the building itself. It's really rather nice. Let's have a look around then, shall we?
Yeah, sure.
I've seen your stuff online, so it's predominantly French then, is it?
It's predominantly French, a few English pieces here and there.
Is this priced here?
Yeah, that's about... I think it might have a ticket on the back.
Oh, there you go. 300 quid.
Yeah.
I buy a lot of paintings. I bought about 10 last week.
Yeah.
I tend to buy lots of them. They're a good seller.
They seem to be these days, don't they? Yeah. Yeah.
He's surrounded by beautifully arranged stock, but Drew knows from experience that items which have been hanging around the shop floor for a while tend not to have pride of place in the display.
What a great plate in that.
I know.
Come on, be buyable.
You can be. I can be.
Yeah.
I've had that a while.
An old friend.
Yes, an old friend. Probably 30s, 40s, something like that, you think, Drew? Or maybe a little bit older?
I think later. Definitely French.
Yeah.
Just the plate's so good. I wouldn't give it, you know, a moment's notice, but the plate is just so nice. Yeah. There's as you go round there, there's a mirror tucked away in the corner. It's quite dark, but it's a wrought iron and then decorative sort of steel plate cut into little roses, which sounds a bit twee, and it's not my type of thing. But 2 things that can really change something. The plate, obviously, you know, just distressed and foxed up so beautifully. And then the green paint on the frame has just faded back and got darker and darker and completely come off in some areas.
This mirror is French and dates to the 1950s. Forged from wrought iron, it's framed by decorative steel roses and could be worth around £600.
What can that be then?
Go on, make me an offer.
I'd have to really bid you hard, and I don't want to upset you.
What is it on that?
£650. So
you can tell I've had it a while, because the ticket's
the
faded.
ticket's faded, yeah.
You had great eyes to be able to see that price.
To me, honestly, it's worth 300 quid. That's what it's to me. Because it just is what it is. It's a lovely plate in a okay frame, but it's just it's a nice thing.
I've had it a while.
Yeah.
Did you do 350?
Yeah.
All right.
Marvellous. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Pleasure. Looking at the mirror, and you could see it'd been around a long time. The ticket was completely faded. I could just about read what it said on it, which was $650. It happens, you know. Nobody gets it right all the time. I certainly don't. You know, some stuff will sit around, and in the trade they are called, you know, your old friends, and you very much live with your mistakes. Roland seems like a very amiable chap, and he actually said, you know, sort of, I'm ready to get rid of it. It's an old friend. It can go. Cool. Can we have a look upstairs?
Yeah, please do.
Okay, so tell me about this. I like the look of this. It's very shiny. It's not sort of my thing, really, but
No.
it's so
It's clever because it's got...
good.
If you lift that shade off, yeah, that's it.
Ah,
You see that kind of uplighter like that, and then there's scope for a couple more bulbs in it. Really
Interesting
unusual thing. Yeah, let me keep that off, actually. Thanks. Yeah, and that just adjusts, so it can be a small kind of table.
Does this open out?
Yeah, these lift.
Like a drinks cabinet or that?
Yeah, it's like an occasional table, come drinks cabinet, come lamp, come
Yeah.
reading table.
Yeah.
So it's... Have you had it redone?
No.
Just as it as
As
is?
I've got it, yeah.
Remarkable condition, isn't it?
It is in very good condition, yeah. Had that a while. That's an old friend as well.
Is it? Are we clearing up all your old friends?
You are.
I'm mopping them up.
I'm loving it.
There's one thing that strikes me over there, and Roland's got it listed as mid-century. I would call it's a sofa table with lights, with adjustable reading light. It's an interesting thing. It's a great shape. It's in mint condition. It clearly doesn't fit in with his current stock, which is country furniture. So, you know, just remind him of that. Get the price down a little bit more.
This mahogany centre table has an adjustable steel light with original shade and 2 storage compartments either side. French and from the late 1950s, once rewired it could be worth around £600. Roland's priced it at £850.
Well, again, you know, I'm going to ask the question, how badly do you want to get rid of your old friend?
Badly.
Badly?
Yeah. Go on. Offer me.
This is going to hurt.
Go on.
I'm sorry. How you doing? Drew.
Nice to meet you, Drew.
Salvager Drew Pritchard is in Sussex, visiting a dealer who specialises in French antiques.
Come on, be buyable.
You can be. I can be.
Yeah.
But some of them have outstayed their welcome.
Are we clearing up all your old friends?
You are.
I'm mopping them up.
I'm loving it.
And he's found an occasional table he thinks could be given a new lease of life.
Well, again, you know, I'm going to ask the question, how badly do you want to get rid of your old friend?
Badly.
Badly?
Yeah. Go on. Offer me.
This is going to hurt.
Go on.
I'm sorry. I'll stand over it.
No, I won't cry, I promise.
3.5. There you go.
That's what I paid.
Yeah.
Could you just do 4, just to help me a bit?
What do you think, T?
I'll make 50 quid on it.
It's ready to rock, isn't it?
Go straight in.
And lit up, it will be a different animal. You've never lit it, have you, by the looks of it?
No, never.
Never lit it up?
No.
Yeah, go on then. Let's have a deal.
Brilliant.
Thank you. Thanks for
Thank you,
that.
Drew. Thank you.
Should we carry on over here? Now, I do like that.
It's got some character.
That is definitely
Unpolished at
my
the
type
moment,
of thing.
So, yeah.
There's only one major problem with that, isn't there?
What's that?
It's massive.
It's actually comfortable as well, isn't it? Got that
Yeah.
nice sort of shape.
It's like a train station bench or something, isn't it?
Well, I was told by the dealer it was a bistro bench.
This bench is Eastern European and would have been used in a waiting room. Made of steamed ply and maple wood, it dates from the 1920s. It could be worth around £900. Its price tag at the French loft is £850.
How badly do you want to get rid of it? That's going to be hanging around a while, that. This is one of those pieces that you'll either sell it within the first day,
Yes.
or 2 days, or you'll have it for a year.
Yeah, yeah.
And it takes up a lot of floor space.
How faded is the ticket?
It's quite fresh. It's got everything that I like. It's a piece of industrial furniture. This has not been made for the home. This has been made for public use of some way, I don't know what. It's perfect. It's great. It's exactly what I want. I don't even need to think about it. No questions. I'm buying it.
What would you offer on it?
I should imagine it. I'd probably offer pretty close to what you paid, and I think you probably paid about 500 quid for it.
A little bit less than
A little bit less.
Yeah.
Would 500 quid buy it?
I'll be happy at 6.
5.5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do a half.
Half again.
Brilliant.
Well,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely. I don't even have to think about this one. It's a no-brainer. Its greatest attribute, this bench, is also its fault, whereas it's a great scale, it's great size, really interesting, but that also is going to go against it. So I'm thinking, well, I want to pay the right money for it. We get it for 5.5 in the end.
But having bagged a few bargains, Drew's about to run into an old friend of his own.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that chair.
Yeah.
My mum had one of those. Look at that. God, I haven't seen one of those in years. It should be bright yellow or green or something.
Yeah, it's just been
Oh, there
faded.
you go, look. And the back's pretty greeny.
Yeah. Sun's just got to it.
God, I remember sitting on this when I was a kid, yeah. I've never seen the footstool.
No.
It's actually remarkably comfortable.
As if that's from... Oh, you can see the...
You see the green there, yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice, isn't it? Mind if I put my feet up?
No, go for it.
Surprised it's still in one piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've fallen asleep then?
I could easily fall asleep. Come round the corner and there's a chair. It's just a chrome steel frame tubular chair, but it's got this rubberized sort of like string work across the whole thing. And it took me back. 1976, 77, my mum had one. Very similar. I think it was blue. I don't know, I've got to buy it now. It took me back to my childhood, that little chair, and it's quite cool.
The price tag on Drew's childhood nostalgia piece says £350.
Another old friend.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
You want to kiss it goodbye?
Yeah.
150 quid.
Done.
Marvellous. Thank you.
Drew.
Just, I'll have to give it to my mum.
Well, I was going to say, you
I'll
could
have
just
to-
have great memories.
Yeah.
Keep it in the
Yeah,
family.
I'll just have to give it to my mum and say, there you go. There you go, you used to have one of those.
She says, I always hated that.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, Roland sort of given the game away with this one. He said, yeah, it's another one of my old friends. Bid me. So, yeah, 150. Bosh. I think I probably could have got that. He was quite quick saying yes. I think I maybe could have gone even less. Excellent. All right, well, I think it's time to load up the van.
Okay.
Your prices are great on stuff.
Thank
And it's
you.
strange how I've picked the things that you don't want anymore.
Yeah, you have chosen 2 or 3 of my oldest things, and and it's great that you can move them and find that new home for them.
Well,
because, well, you will.
So I'm not sure about that one.
No.
I bought that one for old times' sake.
Nostalgia.
Bit of nostalgia.
Yeah, a bit of nostalgia buying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, let's go and get loaded up.
Okay.
And mind our heads.
Yeah.
We have dropped lucky today because Roland's ready to move stock. But we just dropped lucky on a day when he just wanted to get rid. I have those days. If I buy something for £500 and in 6 months later it's still there, I've lost £500 in my book. So if I can get 400 back, I've only lost 100, so I'm winning. That's why I'm a terrible businessman, but it works.
He took a few items that I'd had for a while, so I was able to, you know, give him a slightly better price. And, yeah, and I think it worked out really well. I think you've got to be realistic, you know, in this industry, you know, and sometimes when someone else buys them and kind of gives them a different profile and different location, they can work for them or not, you know, but I mean, it's the way, you know, the way it goes, really, yeah.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
Excellent. Roland, a pleasure. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Really great stuff.
Drew. Good to have you too.
Thank you. Lovely to meet you.
Cheers to you, and you too.
See you again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Back at HQ, it's time to introduce the team to some new friends.
Been to down to Arundel and been to meet the lovely Roland at French Loft.
That's very unusual.
Have you had a taste bypass?
Now I like it. Now I like it. Until Drew put on that massive shade, the table didn't really do much. Just looked a bit odd. Put the shade on, people just walk past and go, oh, I like that.
Carlos?
Yeah.
Carl?
Oh, come in.
Come on.
Oh,
This.
a little bench.
Well, I love it because of its
Yes,
scale. I love it.
unbelievable.
Bent wood, probably Eastern European. Just a great site. I mean, look at it. It's ridiculous.
Massive.
Massive, but I really like it. It's fabulous, isn't it?
The steamwood bench is massive. It's lovely and it's comfy.
This is lovely. Nice, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, I
It
like
would be
that.
horrible if it wasn't distressed.
You wouldn't have bought it
I
if
wouldn't
it
have
wasn't
touched it. If it was
distressed.
in mint condition, I wouldn't have
No.
given it house room. But in that condition, it's
lovely.
absolutely lovely. This is great. It's the last thing we got.
I remember this. If you sit in it and you're wearing a bikini, it pinches your bottom.
Yes.
Yeah, I always had that problem.
Do you remember those?
I bought it because my mum had one when I was a kid, and it just reminded me of that.
Oh, pinching
Stripy
bottoms
legs,
and
yeah.
stripy legs.
And I paid too much for it.
How much you pay?
150.
That is quite a lot, actually.
It is, yes. It should be 50 quid.
Yeah. Can we find any redeeming features with this deeply uncomfortable, painful sun lounger? No, I can't. Drew's paid over the odds, but I think his mother might be getting something for her birthday present.
A day later, Drew's giant bench is already in the shop, waiting for its new owner to find it.
I think it's a great thing. I think the scales makes it, really. The condition's good, but not perfect. It's showing all the lovely polished nail heads. I like that as well. All in all, very pleased with it.
The lampshades from Veer Ferrers are taken by Carl to be rewired. And Gavin cleans and applies a wax to the door pulls. Giving the glove irons from Burfield & Co. a new lease of life is the job of Neville Morris. He comes from a lineage of blacksmiths that can be traced to the 16th century.
They're smart-looking things, but the idea is to drop them into something. Then it needs to be heavy enough and square enough not to fall over.
Neville decides to use a steel girder to create a heavy base with an industrial look. He cuts it into 10-inch sections. He then drills holes for the glove irons to stand in. He now needs to make a strong bracket to hold the glove irons securely. He heats the furnace to 1,200 degrees, the temperature required to bend steel without hammering.
And I'm going to heat these up, and it'll put a 90-degree bend on it. but it's a nice uniform bend. I don't want marks, I don't want hammer marks, it's not that sort of job.
Once the steel is red hot, it can be worked to the required angle using a metal bench press. Brackets and base are fixed together with metal rivets. The results.
The genius Neville has made these, which are way better than I could ever imagine. We've sold 12 or 13 pairs already gone. And everybody raves about the mounts. Problem solved. Nev's Adiders. Plate cut into little roses, which sounds a bit twee, and it's not my type of thing. But two things that can really change something. The plate, obviously, you know, just distressed and foxed up so beautifully. And then the green paint on the frame has just faded back and got darker and darker and completely come off in some areas.
This mirror is French and dates to the 1950s. Forged from wrought iron, it's framed by decorative steel roses. and could be worth around £600.
What can that be then?
Go on, make me an offer.
I'd have to really bid you hard, and I don't want to upset you.
What is it on that?
£650. So
You can tell it's I've had it a while because the ticket's
the
faded.
ticket's faded, yeah.
You had great eyes to be able to see that price.
To me, honestly, it's worth 300 quid. That's what it's to me. Because it just is what it is. It's a lovely plate in a OK frame, but it's just, it's a nice thing.
I've had it a while.
Yeah.
Did you do 350?
Yeah.
All right.
Marvellous. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Pleasure. Looking at the mirror, and you could see it'd been around a long time. The ticket was completely faded. I could just about read what it said on it, which was £650. It happens, you know. Nobody gets it right all the time. I certainly don't. You know, some stuff will sit around, and in the trade they are called, you know, your old friends, and you